Hey everybody! Oh golly, that's a bit awkward. Happy Friday. Hope you are all fantastic and amazing and ready to really roll into, I think, what is going to be a really awesome day. So Fridays are all about celebrations and insights. So as you're joining or as you're listening to the recording, good morning Ainsley. Let me know what you're celebrating this week. What are your big insights from this week? So for me, one of the really cool things that's happened this week, good morning Joe, is on our morning walk yesterday, so this is not business related, on our morning walk yesterday we came across, my kids actually found a little baby ringtail possum lying on the ground. It was about like this big, and hey Louise, and we're like, oh my gosh, it's freezing cold. So I made my son strip off his t-shirt, put his jackets back on, and morning Joe, and we wrapped up this little baby possum in a little t-shirt, and I carried this little thing. It was like here, it was like having a little baby. So the insight for this for me was I got so kind of maternal and protective. It was really weird. I don't want any more children, and I don't do that over babies. It's really interesting. This cute little thing that was just, we don't know if it had been kicked out or what had happened. So we whisked it down to the vet, and the wildlife rescue people have got it, and apparently it's been hissing and it's all, all healthy and really well. So that was kind of interesting. I think the thing that surprised me was the kind of maternal thing that kind of kicked in. Really weird. So that was a really interesting celebration / insight this week. Another really cool thing is, so I've been chatting with some people this week. I ran a webinar on Wednesday. I've spoken to a few people off the back of that webinar and spoken to some other people earlier on in the week. And I think it's really, I guess this is celebration / insight. It's really interesting. I always ask people, why me? Why do you think I'm the right person to help you and whatever else? And each of them had said in different ways, shapes or forms, that they love watching the lives. They love that they really appreciate the no bullshit, the value that's in them. And the reason that I wanted to reflect this back to you is because it can feel like, particularly over a period of time where maybe you feel like you're not being heard, maybe you feel like you're not having the impact that you want to have, you may not get instantly the sales. Good morning Maxine. You may not get the sales instantly. You may not get the feedback that you want. You might not get the reactions, the thumbs up, the love hearts, the smiley faces and stuff like that flow through sometimes on Facebook Lives. Sometimes you guys are like loving this shit out of it, and then other times it's like crickets, and I kind of wonder, is I can see that people are watching, but is this hitting home? Good morning, Neil. Thanks for joining us. So I think that the big overwhelming feedback that I have had this week has been where people have said, and there's a lady in particular, a lady called Haley. Good morning, Karina. Hey, Sandra. She said to me, she's like, we had a conversation yesterday actually, and she said that she'd spent the last couple of weeks, particularly the last couple of weeks following me. She's been watching the lives. She's been implementing the stuff that I've been talking about. She's been chatting with her husband about it, and she's been implementing this stuff into her business and into her marketing, into her page. And she said, the results that she's had, the confidence that she's had off the back of doing these has been helpful for her. And that's been my whole intention for doing these, right? So I think that, but yet I haven't seen her name pop up in the stuff. I have not seen her name pop up in any of the reactions or any of the waves or little reaction things like the love hearts and stuff. I've not seen her name pop up in anything. And I thought that this was really interesting, and it demonstrates the stuff that I tell you guys all the time, which is people will stalk you. not in a weird peeping Tom way, but they will stalk you, they will follow you, and it's not until they feel really safe that that it's, you know, that they're not going to be exposed or anything like that. It's not until they really feel safe and like they trust you, like they like you, that they feel like they know you a bit more, that then they'll start engaging. Now, that time frame for some people can be like 5 minutes. For other people, it can be like 3 years. So it's really important that we look at this from, you know, from you implementing this into your lives, your businesses, your marketing. And I'm not just talking about Facebook Lives. No matter what method you choose to use to communicate with people, you've got to be consistent. Consistent, consistent, consistent. Which means that even when you're not feeling like it, you're showing up. And like, you might not feel like doing a live. You know, I actually went down with a really bad migraine last night, and I've woken up this morning feeling quite a bit lethargic and a bit foggy, and like I know I'm not 100%, but I love doing these for a start. These energize me, and you know, whether I feel like it or not, I've committed to you guys that I'm going to show up. So it's about showing up, doing the thing, delivering the best that you can on that day. What that shows your people, what this shows your audience, is that you care about them, that you actually give a shit about what's going on in their lives and about the stuff that they're struggling. So that they're struggling with. So for me, there's been probably a good half a dozen people that have said to me this week, I love watching your lives. I can't always make them on when you're running them, but I go back and I watch the replay. They tell me that they've gone and implemented the stuff, because I'm all about delivering value and solving your problems, right? And delivering content to help you. So if you're doing this similar type of thing, then your audience are going to be able to get a result before they even jump on a conversation with you, before they even buy from you. And I think that is really important. I don't think that's important. I know that that's really important. And there have been some people who have enrolled to become clients of mine over the last couple of weeks, literally, who have said to me that one of the main reasons that they've done that is because of the lives that we do. So on Tuesday, there was a lady, I can't think of her name, but on the 11 o'clock show that I do, the Becoming Professionally Famous one, she'd said, you know, how do people make money from these lives? And my answer is, we don't make money from these lives directly. It's more about relationship building, it's rapport building, it's showing up, delivering content, delivering value, and not expecting something in return. And it's a really interesting shift. And I think the other insight off the back of that is earlier on in my business. So when, like in the first couple of years, I was like, I'm not doing anything if it's not going to help me make money. And I'd still do marketing, and you know, I had that intention. It was very, very, very much revenue based, and you know, that type of stuff. Now, we're in business, right? We're in business to make money. There's got to be a commercial return. But I think if you're showing up and you're sharing some of your best stuff from a place of authenticity, from a place of giving value, from a place of being able to build relationships with people, it just helps you so much with your positioning, with the way that you're being perceived as an expert, that you know what it is that you're doing. Now, another interesting insight, I was chatting with a lady called Joan, and she's a regular attendee on these lives. And she said to me, she said, Nicola, like, you've got all the words. I don't have all those words. So, hey, Kathy, thank you. It's not, you don't have to speak for as long as I do. And guys, like, there is no way known to man that when I started doing these lives, I didn't have the confidence, the certainty, or the let's just get out here and help some people attitude. It was really different. I was a bit nervous about it. I was worried about, interestingly, a few years ago, I was more worried about what other people in my industry would think if they came across my stuff. Now, let's face it, they probably don't give a flying shit about me or about my stuff, or they probably don't spend their time looking at what I'm doing, the same as I don't spend time looking at what they're doing, right? I couldn't give a shit what they're doing. You know, they're doing what they do, I do what I do, and it's very, very different. So it's kind of interesting, I think, when we just kind of go, all right, I'm just going to stay in my lane, I'm going to focus on my audience, and I'm going to deliver the best value content that I can possibly deliver. And you will see that pay off. But just bear in mind that sometimes it can be a long game, not just a short game that happens really, really quickly. Okay, so that's probably the biggest thing that I can remind you of today. Kathy said, very true. Tamara, I think this is incredibly important for your credibility. It's really important for all of our credibility. Hey, Kelly, because, you know, if you think about it, if we're showing up being consistent in our promises, whether it's, oh, and I've got to talk to you about email. If we're promising people that they're going to get value from us by following us, then we've got to deliver value. We've got to fulfill on our promise of that, right? So that's something that's really critically important, and the way that you frame that. So the way that we deliver that is, if people are starting to follow you or like your page, or, you know, looking at what it is that you're doing, then we've promised them that, hey, by following us, you're going to learn. We don't say this literally because it might be a bit weird, but essentially we're saying, hey, by following me and by giving me that like, I promise to deliver value to you. I promise to enhance your life in one way, shape, or form or another. There's a really funny page that I've been following that I really love, and it's terribly inappropriate. So if anybody is offended by swearing, maybe turn off now. Oh, what was it? It was like, I can't remember. I think it's got, like, the page is called like Fuck It or something like that. I can't remember. But oh my God, it's funny. And there's, like, they've got some really awesome merchandise that you can buy. Oh man, I wish I could remember. I'll have a look and I'll let you guys know what the name of this page is. And she does it in such a way that, like, the gift that she's giving, the value that she's giving is humor, right? She makes us laugh. I'm like, I read her stuff and I'm wetting myself laughing. I think it's really absolutely hilarious. They've got mugs that you can buy. They sell earrings on there. They do all sorts of different things. So the intention is to make sales, right? But the promise is to entertain and to engage their audience. So it doesn't have to be this big serious thing about, oh, I've got to make sure that I'm delivering high value, lots of words type of content, or really long videos in order to deliver value. It could be that your big promise is, hey, you know what, if you follow me, I'm gonna make you laugh. And then you've got to deliver on that. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. So delivering on your promise. Another interesting question that I actually had last night that I just thought that I would address and share, because it's kind of a really cool celebration, and it might be a bit of an insight for you. The question was, well, how many emails should I send to my email list? Because I don't open any of the emails that you send me, Nicola. And I actually said, you know what? I don't give a flying shit if you open my emails or not. I care, but I don't really care, because let me explain why. Now, if you're getting emails from me, then my name is going to pop up in your inbox at least 3 times a week. You might not open them, and that's fine, but I know that when you do, there will be at least 2 to 3 points or pieces of value in that email. There's usually a motivation piece. There's usually a link to a latest blog or a latest webinar or a thing that I found. And then I usually have in there the recordings or the links to my page so that people can catch up on the lives. So what happens is, like, I know that, oh, look, there's an email from Nicola again. Oh, there's an email from Nicola again. Oh, you know what, I've really got to catch up on these emails. And sometimes what happens, and I see this in my stats, is that people will go and open up my emails in one day. They might open 10 emails and go and look at all the things that are in there. It doesn't bother me. What I'm bothered about is that I am being consistent. I'm delivering on my promise of value, and every email that I send out has value in it. So I just thought that's that. And then the other piece of that is you've got to remember, guys, that just because you don't open your emails, it doesn't mean that your audience, all of your audience, isn't going to open emails. You are not your market. You already know the answers to the problems and the things that they're dealing with and the way that you can help them, right? Because that's why they've started following you in the first place. So they want to consume what you have, what you know. Haley, she said, you've got Starbucks where you live? No. This is my reusable cup, my little piece of America that I like, half of my heart lives in America and half of my heart lives here. And yes, I make my weird concoction coffees in it every morning. So that's how I deal with my little piece of America. Kelly, thank goodness, that's what I'm scared of. Yeah, it doesn't really matter, right? You might send an email one day that's got a really awesome subject line and that's the thing that tweaks with someone and they're like, oh my God, yes, I need to open that. That's amazing, right? And then maybe they'll click and go and look at something different and follow the breadcrumb trail that you're leaving for them. On the other hand, some people will open up every single email that you send them. Some people still respond to every email that I send. They're like, oh wow, that's exactly what I needed to hear today. Or you make it sound so simple, thank you so much. Or, you know what, this didn't hit the mark with me, Nicola, but it raised this other question. And it's like, you know what, I'm down with that. That's fine, great. Respond, because it's in that, you know, some people will respond, some won't, but it's in that feedback, and it's in that, not feedback as in, you shouldn't swear, Nicola, or I would have done this differently. Like, I don't pay any attention to that, but I do listen to and pay attention to the interaction that comes back to me. Because if you guys are saying, you know, Nick, this is, you know, I kind of get it, but I don't really understand, I don't get it, then that responsibility to change my approach or to explain something in a different way, that lies squarely on me. But without that interaction and without that feedback, I'm just going out and doing my thing, thinking that it's all landing in the place that I think it's going to land. I was chatting with my book editor the other day, I think it was on Tuesday night, and she was saying to me, she's like, you know, you've talked in this book about solving people's problems, but people don't necessarily know what that even means. And I've gone, oh shit, you're right. And there was something else that I said. There was these different, it's easy to kind of get caught up in some of our lingo. So having that external set of eyes for people coming back going, I don't understand what you mean, is actually invaluable, because we know so much, right? And sometimes it's hard to kind of distill that information and make it as simple as we can so that people get it. Hope that makes sense. Probably didn't explain that very well, considering I was trying to explain something to make it more simple. Oh, isn't that ironic? Okay, so that's kind of my little blah blah today. What are you celebrating? What has been really awesome for you this week? What have been your insights from this week? I would really love to hear them. It doesn't have to be like, it's not necessarily related to me. Like, in fact, it's even better if it's not related to me. Tell me what's been really awesome in your world, because I think we get really caught up in, oh, but I'm not there yet. And, oh, like that, I didn't make the sales that I wanted to this week. Or, you know what, I've got a really big to-do list and I didn't get through it all. Good morning, Margaret. Nice to see you. Oh, I think it was you that I was talking about. I actually mentioned you earlier on today about the people interacting and watching and stalking, like when we were talking on Tuesday. Thanks for joining in. Nice to see you. So share your celebrations, share your insights. If you've got someone in your world who has been really amazing this week for you and supportive or whatever, how about we celebrate them? You know, it's really easy to get caught up in the, I'm not there yet, this didn't happen, or, you know, I tried this and it was really shit, or whatever else. Just share your celebrations. I'd love to celebrate with you and give you a big fat high five through the interwebs. So I'm going to love you and leave you. I'm going to get into my coffee and I need to get started in my day. So have a great day, have a great afternoon, have a beautiful weekend. Actually, before I let you go, next week is a bit of a messy week for me. I'm traveling over to the States on Tuesday morning. Super excited to be getting the hell out of Dodge for a little bit, just quietly. So we've got a little bit of change in scheduling next week. So you can keep an eye on the page and you'll see what's happening. But essentially, Monday morning we're still going live at 9. It will be a bit of a, like, it's a Monday Mojo show, so we're doing that for the coffee run. Then at 12 o'clock, I'm doing my, oh, that's a bit strange. At 12 o'clock, I'm doing the Becoming Professionally Famous show that I normally do on Tuesday. So that's a longer show, a longer Facebook Live, so you can join in for that. And then Tuesday through till the following Tuesday, so pretty much for the Tuesday week, I am going to be in the States. So I will still go live, but it was probably not going to be at 9 o'clock your time because I'm going to be in trainings and doing some different things. So what I will do, what I promise to do, not every day, but what I promise to do is to show up, let you know my insights or key things that have come up while I've been away, while I'm away. So I'll let you know what that is all about. And then we're really kind of back into the swing of everything on Wednesday the 25th. And I'll be coming live from the airport lounge as I'm making my way back to Mildura through the day on Wednesday. So just stay tuned, have a look. You'll see on the page there in the events there, the times are a little bit different over the next week and a half. So just bear that in mind. I will do my best to serve you and keep delivering value and just really remain connected. 2 reasons. I love doing it, right? I love being here for you. And secondly, so that you can kind of pull the stuff out of my brain as much as you can. All right, guys, have a really great day. Take care, and I'll catch you next week. Ainsley, I'm really awesome that you're celebrating. All right, darling.